All right, everyone, 7:06 right now on this Tuesday night as we get ready for a whopper of a storm system to come through. Things are quiet right now. This is looking live over the plaza. It's wet, it's rainy. That's been the case for much of the day, but this is the front side of this storm system. We're about to switch over to the back side here within the next 4 or 5 hours, and the backside's the fierce side. This is going to be a major windstorm, and it's also got snow. It's a blizzard, and just want to get you ready for what this is going to look like, because it might surprise you when this passes by. It's intense. It doesn't feel like it now. I understand that, but tonight and into tomorrow, some nasty weather's coming. I just want to get you ready for it, show you what we see, give you some comparisons of, just looking at the data, how does this look and how much snow we're going to have, what do the roads look like, all that stuff. All right, so it's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to walk you through it piece by piece. One question I know is going to come is school cancellations. I don't know. We've got our school closings tab up on our website, so you can always be checking that. Haven't heard much of that yet. I certainly see merit to that if schools were to decide to do it, because we're going to have severe thunderstorm level winds tomorrow morning without any severe thunderstorms, just the winds, and the roads could be messy and all that kind of stuff. So I would understand if that happened, but I don't know how much school cancellations will happen. I do believe there will be some. You need to be ready for school closings. My gut tells me that as school administrators probably feel the power of the wind that comes through tonight, and whenever we start to see the snow come down, if they're having to make a call, waking up tomorrow morning early, they're probably going to be some late fuse, kind of short fuse school closing or delays. I would just be ready for it. All right, just a heads up there. Okay, let's get to work. I want to show you this. This is what I put the colors that you see on here are tropical storm force winds and near hurricane force winds. And I show you this because this is a very powerful storm system, and it's on the order. Whenever you look, you can measure the power of a storm system by its pressure. And you look at its pressure, it's similar to what we see in Category 1, Category 2 hurricanes. Now, it's not a hurricane, but it does have hurricane-like characteristics, and winds are getting up near hurricane force. I mean, we're looking at some really potent gusts here, and I want you to see that. So watch as I scroll forward here, and you see that batch of yellow. Those are near hurricane force wind gusts that are possible as we get to tonight, and they're widespread. We've already seen that in places to our west. There was a 93-mile-per-hour wind gust in southwest Kansas. Doesn't mean that's going to hit that here. I'm not forecasting 90-mile-per-hour winds, but I do think that we could get 65, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So nasty, nasty windstorm, and it will remain very windy with tropical storm-type winds through much of the day. So, I'm from the Midwest, but I did spend 6 years in Florida and preparing. I went through a number of hurricanes and tropical storms, and the prep for that is similar to what I see people doing tonight, which is pulling in the patio furniture. People are taking care of trees as much as they could today, just doing what you can before the winds hit. It's getting late now, but I did see some of that earlier today. This is a multiple hazard setup. First off is the rain and storms that we have. That's going to come to an end this evening, but it's a wet evening, so just so you know that. Then the blizzard hits and dangerous travel tonight. It's going to be dangerous. And then the extreme wind. I'm going to get you the full graphic here because that is our greatest threat. You hear the term blizzard, and that usually, any other time, would probably be like top alert. But this is the greatest threat, the wind with this one. This is tonight into Wednesday. We need to be prepared for damage. Well, and what I'm talking about here is, if we take a closer look at just the windstorm part of this, is as early as 10 p.m. for some of us tonight, might be more toward midnight for Kansas City, and lasting through noon Wednesday. And what we're looking at is 55 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. To put that in perspective, a severe thunderstorm has winds to 58 miles per hour. Those are gusts too. All right, so 58 mile per hour winds. You're looking at severe thunderstorm level winds, and with a severe thunderstorm, it's in one isolated spot and it lasts for a few minutes and then it's done. We've all been through a severe thunderstorm in Kansas City and surrounding areas, but this is going to be that level of wind over everybody, and it's going to last for 10, 12 hours. So we should anticipate power loss, tree damage. High-profile vehicles like tractor trailers could get tipped over with that kind of wind, and be charging your devices tonight, all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to be gloomy-doomy, but I just want you ready for what we see. And you see that much wind, and the problems that come with that, tree damage, things like that. I wouldn't park my car under a weak tree or an old tree tonight, and just that kind of thinking. All right. So let's show it to you here on the computer forecast. Here we are. This is about an hour from now. We're already seeing winds pick up to the west. Atchison, Lawrence, Ottawa, looking at 50-mile-per-hour winds. Look at St. Joe on this map. I mean, one county near the low will be relatively calm, and then a county over, it's going to be cranking winds to severe thunderstorm levels or just about. So whenever I gave the comparison to like hurricane and tropical storm, it's kind of like an eye wall where it's calm, and then the bad part of the storm hits, and boom, you get smacked and thumped with some really strong winds, and that's what's going to happen. So this will come quickly. It will be relatively calm, and then you'll get hit with a big batch of wind that will not go away for a long time. So there's midnight, and you can see it's in Kansas City by that point. Sometime around midnight, might be an hour earlier, that's going to come through. And you see widespread, 63 in KC. This is just an estimate from the computers, but what they're showing. 55 real common, 70 in Lawrence, 70 in Atchison, upper 60s just north and west of Kansas City by about midnight or so, and then all of that sweeps eastward, so we'll be in that. And even tomorrow morning, still wind gusts to 60 miles per hour, again, severe thunderstorm level. And by noon, it will start to back off some. It's still really windy. Gusts 50 are still on the table at that point. And it won't be until late in the day that we see it get back to 35 to 40 mile per hour winds, which on a normal day would be crazy windy. But that we'll be looking forward to that by tomorrow. So that's the wind story. The other thing I want you to know is too, wind is the story here, but we also do have the blizzard warning. So second blizzard of the year, of the season for Kansas City. We don't usually get a blizzard every winter, but we got 2 of them this year. This is going to last through 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. Everybody that's shaded in red, Eudora, Richmond, Cameron, St. Joe, Maryville, all under the blizzard warning. If you're not under the blizzard warning, you're under a winter weather advisory. This is where we expect less snow, and because of that, less blizzard conditions. So that would be through noon to our east and through 6 a.m. to our south. So that's like Harrisonville, Clinton, Warrensburg, places like that. Pardon me. Okay, so let's look more closely at this blizzard part of the storm system. And whenever you hear the term blizzard, that conjures up this image that you might be thinking this. I'm going to wake up blizzard. We're going to have a foot of snow on the ground tomorrow morning. No, blizzards are not defined by how much snow you get. Blizzards are defined by, you have snow either blowing around or falling, but you've got winds, big check, 35 miles per hour or higher, and also that snow reduces visibility for at least 3 hours. Check, that's going to happen. So don't get wrapped up in that word blizzard and think that we're going to get a lot of snow, because of the storm impacts that we're looking at, snow accumulation's on the lower side. So minor to moderate accumulation, 1 to 3 inches. And a lot of that is going to melt and compact initially. So you may wake up tomorrow morning and be like, that's not as much snow as I was thinking. We're not expecting humongous snow here. That said, when the snow is coming down, you don't want to be on the roads. Travel here between roughly 10 if you're out west, midnight in Kansas City, through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. You don't want to be on the roads because you won't be able to see. I mean, especially from about midnight to 3 or 4 in the morning. When this snow's coming down, I mean, it's coming, it's blowing, it's heavy. You just won't be able to see very well. Plus, road conditions will be deteriorating, but the main thing is the visibility. The wind impacts here are on the high side. This is a major windstorm, so damage and power loss likely, like we discussed. So here's our evening planner, and rain has been kind of patchy over the past few hours, but it's filling in now as that backside of the storm system is moving in. So we're going to have persistent rain, maybe a few thunderstorms in there too. Might start to mix in some snowflakes as we get closer to midnight. Look at our temperatures coming down. 40s turn to the 30s. Yeah, it's getting colder, obviously, as we see that. And then the winds. Here's another look at the winds. Look how it goes from like 30, kind of breezy at 8 to 52 to 6. I mean, winds double. And we're up into that territory for a long stretch there. Let's get to work here on the radar. And you see what looks like a big batch of thunderstorms, but what that actually is, it's pretty good rainfall, but that is snow. It's what we call bright banding. So as snow falls through the atmosphere and melts before it hits the ground, it's got this real big signature on radar, and it confuses the radar, and it makes it think that it's really, really heavy rain. So I anticipate that what we see over here west of Kansas City is pretty good rain, but a lot of that is melting snow. And there may be a thunderstorm in there too. It's possible. There's the snow switch over. Right now, it's Manhattan and northeast Kansas and up toward near Omaha. Lincoln's in it, and I'm telling you, it's coming down there. Let's show it here on a forecast track. This is as we go to about 10. You see that snow line is going to hit to the west first. So Maryville, Atchison, Lawrence, Ottawa, here within about 3 hours, you might be switching over to snow. It's probably still rain in Kansas City, but by about midnight or so, we're going to be in the snow. Again, that is, look at the deep shades of purple there. I mean, it's coming down. And that heavy round of snow, it won't last all that long. And again, a lot of that's going to melt on contact. It'll probably last for about 3 hours or so of heavy snow. Odessa, Richmond, Marshall, Warrensburg, you're still in rain, so you don't switch over to snow until later. This is by 7 o'clock in the morning. So you're waking up, you're checking out the land, what's it look like, and it may not be snowing anymore. If it is, it's probably light. So the snow event really comes to an end by about 5 or 6. After that, it's just light. This is for Kansas City. It's still snowing in Marshall, Chillicothe, places like that. So it's about a 6-hour event total. And then by noon, the whole thing's done. Much of tomorrow is dry. You know, just a little round of snow there early in the morning before this whole thing slides away. And we'll actually get some sunshine to come back out by tomorrow afternoon. So the computer forecast snow totals here, how much are we talking? And again, 1 to 3. It's less to our east, less than an inch. If you're in Richmond and Odessa and Marshall and places like that, you get that later start. It's a little bit more to our south and west. Ottawa, Paola, you're more likely to get 3. An inch or 2 in Kansas City is a pretty good bet. So again, bad travel between 11 p.m. and 6 due to the poor visibility. And this is how much snow we expect to fall. But some of that, again, melts, so we may not accumulate quite that much. It's a very difficult forecast, and it's kind of difficult to describe, but this is how much we expect that's going to fall. The big question mark here is how long will it take for the snow that falls to begin accumulating and stop melting? So kind of put a button on this. It's going to be heavy, but while it will initially melt, it will then refreeze. So you can imagine as temperatures are crashing, you know, we could have what's called a flash freeze. So that melted snow, liquid on the ground, and then it gets really cold and then it turns to ice. You could have icy patches underneath the snow that falls. So I'm just saying, be ready for snowy and icy roads for the morning commute. I don't think it's going to be a terribly high amount, but I do think that we could certainly have slick spots, and that's just something that you want to be ready for. Give yourself extra time Wednesday morning. Not only with the wind, but also it's nasty. It's just a nasty morning. So 28 degrees. 50 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts is just wicked. And then the afternoon, 35 is as far as we go. It's much colder than today. Winds come down a little. We're at 45, and there's the sun popping out for you. And then after we get past this, it's a whole lot better. Thursday, 42. There's a real low chance for a little bit of rain or light snow, but just 20%. Most of that looks north of Kansas City. Friday morning could see a little bit of that too, but then we're up to 50. Your weekend, 52 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we spring ahead. I'll show you this. So maybe, there we go. Spring ahead, sunrise is going to be 7:38 on Sunday. The sunset though, oh yeah, 7:19, 60 degrees and sunshine, late sunset. Sunday's got it made. And then next week's even better. This is the craziest forecast. This is the most Midwest forecast you'll ever see. We go from 35 and windstorm and blizzard to 73 and sunshine by Tuesday. So next week just looks amazing. Is this the end of winter? We'll see. It's hopefully our last big hit of winter anyway. We can still certainly get snow into March. For now, though, it looks like we get past this one, we're going to look a whole lot better. So updates here, I mean, by the minute we are watching this thing. So at 10 o'clock, I've got all your updates. New data comes in every single hour. I'm going to be looking at the snow totals. I'll be looking at the winds. By 10 p.m., some of you are likely to begin seeing the wind, maybe even some of you seeing the snow. So join us at 10 if you want updates. We've got you covered through this whole thing. On air, online, KCTV5.com, our app. It's a really good app. I'm not saying that just because I work here, but we have not only radar, we have forecast radar. You'll get all the alerts. You can see school closings. Everything you need right there is totally free. So you can check that out, the First Warn 5 weather app and the KCTV5 news app. So that's what I got for you. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that this painted a picture of what we expect. Get ready for a noisy night with the winds, and tomorrow morning is just going to be a stinker. It just is. So, but we can plan around that. We'll see you at 10. Always appreciate you joining us. Again, hope that this has served you well and helped you out. Take care.